Hi guys, my name is Obsessed Lanni, and welcome to the first episode of Lanni Draws. Over the past several years, I've slacked off on my drawing, so in order to improve and maintain my skills, I'll draw one new subject every week. Of course, these subjects will be related to my hobbies, fandoms, and current interests. Also, to make this a little more interesting, I'm going to start off with my weakest medium in art, live action. I cannot draw real stuff. I mean, I can, but it takes so long and I just rather not. I prefer to draw things that are animated, cartoons, anime, stick figures. But if I'm ever going to improve, I need to stop running away from this weakness I have with live action. It shouldn't be that hard to draw an apple. Why is it so hard to draw an apple? Anyways, so I'm going to be drawing live action stuff for on and off, because I'll draw some cartoons too. And while I'm doing these drawings, I'll be talking about whatever I'm drawing or whatever is on my mind. So these episodes are going to be pretty candid. They're going to be all over the place. It's basically me drawing and rambling at the same time. So anyways, let's begin. Our first subject for this week is going to be Mark Fishbach, otherwise known as Markiplier. Let's get to it. Okay, so let's get started. A brand new sketchbook ready to fill up with drawings. So Mark Fishbach, otherwise known as Markiplier, like I said earlier, is a Let's Player. He specializes in the horror genre, which is a genre I really don't too much care for. But he's actually a really cool guy. And I really enjoy his commentary and how he lets himself get completely immersed in all of his Let's Plays. So I'll probably should start from the beginning. I first heard of Mark during the Five Nights at Freddy's craze. And of course he was one of the ones that was really into the game and beat all the hard parts and stuff like that. And I hate jump scares because they always get me. And I tend to have nightmares having such a vivid imagination. But I really like the story and lore behind Five Nights at Freddy's, so I was watching a lot of Let's Plays of it and reading a lot of theories of them. And so that's where I ended up first hearing about Markiplier. So I watched all his videos, and then I moved on. And then I came back once I watched the Game Grumps, Aaron and Danny, or Ego Raptor and Danny Sexbang. Watched them actually play Five Nights on Freddy's. Well, actually, no, it wasn't. No, it wasn't Danny. It was Susie and Ross. No, Susie and Barry. Okay, it was Aaron, Susie, and Barry. That's right. And what was that? Was that a steam train? Anyways, I watched the Game Grumps play Five Nights on Freddy's. And in the second one, I believe it was the second one, they ended up calling up Mark at like 2 in the morning. And I thought that was really interesting. I'm like, huh, okay. So I went back and started watching his videos. The first one was, the first long play I watched was Alien Isolation. And I ended up picking that one because I also watched Team 4-Star Krillin plays. And they hadn't updated their Alien Isolation in a while. So I noticed that Mark had a complete play of it. So I decided, I'll go ahead and watch his. And it turns out I actually really like this guy. I was like, how about that? So then I watched his Outlast videos, because that was also another thing that Krillin Let's Play had. And I actually had finished the Outlast, but I wanted to see someone else who was like completely into it and wasn't just completely scared the whole time, as the character Krillin is. But, Markiplier has a thing where he acts like he's super buff and tough, and then he'll scream like a little girl when stuff comes around. And I find that pretty hilarious. So I started watching Outlast, Alien Isolation, and I was like, oh, okay, this guy's pretty different. Let me keep on watching him. And then, let's see, I watched several other videos, and then I came across his fan-made videos. And I figured, I watched a bunch of his videos. I should be able to get most of the references. And I ended up watching one of them called The Ripest Fear. Yeah, it was a fan game that was, it was okay, but I was getting pretty annoyed with it. And you could tell that Markiplier was getting pretty annoyed with it too. Some of the things just wasn't working in that game. But I kept watching because the title for the video said watch to the end. And I was like, okay, why would he say that? So I kept on watching. Then it got to the end and it started showing a compilation of his vlogs, or vlogs, whatever you want to call them, about how he was so thankful for his fans and everything. And I was like, oh, this guy's pretty down to earth. Like, he seems pretty genuine. Just not, you know, doing it for the money or something like most guys out there. And then it started getting to where he was talking about his subscribers. And I was like, well, seeing all his vlogs about we reached this many and we reached that many. I was like, he kind of sounds a little full of himself, but you know, whatever. He's a YouTuber, so who am I to care? And then I'm watching this video and I'm just like, oh, well, this is okay. And then I decided to look over into the corner because, you know, Markiplier has the face cam. I wanted to see how he was looking, and I hadn't been watching him the whole time during this video, and I was very shocked by what I saw because he was like staring very intently at the video. And I remember thinking, like, he kind of looks disappointed or upset. And I'm like, well, he's watching the compilation of all his milestones and he looks upset. I was like, why in the world does he look upset? And then after it was over, he was talking about how he had lost his way, you know, focusing more on trying to get more subscribers and losing, like, becoming out of touch with his fans and stuff. And I was like, whoa. Because, you know, not many people realize their flaws like that. And I was really surprised. So I was like, oh, that made him seem all the more real to me. Like, he really is a genuine guy. Because I'm pretty good at reading people and being able to tell their intentions and everything. And I had already got a good feeling for Markiplier once I first started actually regularly watching him. But to have it confirmed like that was pretty awesome. I was like, oh, it's good that he recognized his flaws before it went too far. And it ended up working out well for him. And he's still doing vlogs and stuff and making sure to encourage his fans and everything. Because a lot of people, like, his Let's Plays get them through tough times. And, I mean, my life is pretty fine. I have nothing to complain about. And I enjoy watching him. And I'm one of those people who actually cares about him. And not, I mean, you know, some people watch stuff to get something to take out of it. I just watch it to see him having a good time. And I don't know if any other fans are like that, but that's why I watch him. I like to see him happy and see him having a good time. Not so much of me trying to get something out of it. It's like I feel happy when he's happy. And if he's sad, I feel worried. And it's kind of weird that this would even happen because, I mean, I've never met this guy. I don't know this guy from what he's, I mean, only from what he's put out on YouTube and stuff, but still, to instill such a caring nature in complete strangers, I was like, I'm definitely going to keep my eye on this guy. I'm not just going to let him be a phase like most YouTubers and other things. I usually get into something for about probably 4 or 5 months, and then I move on to the next thing. And that's basically what's been happening lately with this YouTuber stuff, because it started out with the Angry Video Game Nerd, then it went to the Nostalgia Critic, then it went over to the Game Grumps, and then it went to Markiplier and some other guys. But it's like it's usually just phases for me, and I don't want Markiplier to be a phase because I genuinely like this guy. And this is coming out kind of weird. So anyways, after seeing that he was able to realize a flaw that he had, which I thought was pretty small because at least it was caught early, because he could have ended up being like really full of himself and stuff. And it's good that he was able to see that early on so he can stay true to himself. I think I made his eye, I need to make his eye smaller. And also that was the moment that I was like, yeah, I'm just not going to let this guy be a phase for me. I'm not just going to be like, oh, I got my fill of his videos and move on, like I am with most other YouTubers. So I went ahead and subscribed to him. And he's probably I think he's the first YouTuber I've subscribed to. And so I keep up with all his, well, I'm going through the backlog of all his videos because holy crap, he has a bunch of them out there. And I follow him on Tumblr. And I used to have a Twitter, but Twitter kind of gets on my nerves. So I just like go straight to his Twitter to see what he's talking about, and that's it. Yeah, I really need to make these eyes smaller. His eyes are smaller than this. I really cannot stand drawing real people in live action and stuff like this. If I wasn't trying to improve myself, I would definitely be drawing an anime style of Markiplier. But as seeing I'm not, I'm just gonna keep on going. But let me go ahead and, before I go ahead and go back to the eyes, I know it's gonna be the lips that are gonna get me. I have a hard time drawing the lips of a real person. Like with anime and cartoons and stuff, it's just a line. But not so much with real people. And it's really hard to see the lines in his jacket, or I think this is a jacket, I'm not sure. Because this picture it has a white background, which I'm assuming this is an apartment. But this is also a white shirt or jacket, so it's hard to see the lines in here. But I mean, I'm not really drawing that seriously. I'm just trying to get back into the knack of things. I used to draw so much, but now I don't anymore. And I'm still not sure why. So let's go ahead and erase these eyes, because they definitely need to be a lot smaller, because he is Asian and they tend to have smaller eyes. And I ended up making these eyes humongous. So let's see. Well, he's part Asian. I definitely have made those eyes way too big. Gosh, drawing eyes is just, well, drawing live action in general. Good grief. And I still got to do his glasses. Well, these are going to end up being rough sketches anyway. Something I can look back on and be like, oh, look at that. That's terrible. But I tried. I really hate, like, I don't want to call them bags, but, I mean, because I have these too, but it's hard to make it look, it's hard to make any of this look right. But this is definitely a challenge for me. I do not like drawing live action. I got his eyebrows too high up. And it's funny because in this picture, the flow of his eyebrow hairs, they're going in different directions. You know, I said I made them too far up, and I ended up kind of just putting them back in the same spot. Ah, how annoying. I think this will probably turn out okay once I get the glasses done, because everything, this is just making me upset now. But, you know, they say that the toughest critique of an artist is the artist themselves, and that is so true. I'm rarely happy about anything I've drawn. And, oh gosh, I'm so used to just drawing like the bottom part of glasses, because that's how manga artists draw. So that's how I draw characters with people with glasses. I'll just draw the bottom part and leave it at that. And there's something else. It's another thing with glasses is that they're really big. They're really big. Now, when you draw a manga character, you end up making the glasses very, like, very small. I mean, well, not too small, but they fit the face better. But in real life, it's not really how glasses work. So it's kind of like, well, I'm doing live action now, so I guess I have to do it correctly. Oh, them birds outside. I don't know if you guys can hear them or anything, but they are pretty loud. It's interesting that we actually have a spring in Nebraska. Okay, this is actually turning out a little okay. For not having drawn anybody like a real person in so long, but, I may actually be a little bit proud of this. But besides live action drawing, I do have a few other weaknesses. So it's like it goes live action, and then painting and shading. And I took classes in junior high and high school. I took art classes, but painting and shading, I just couldn't grasp it. And to this day, I still cannot do either, or at least not make it look professional. I mean, I can paint stuff if it's just going to be a solid color or something, but to like do like a professional artist or something, I cannot do that. And shading, you know, seeing where the light's coming from and where the shadows go, my brain cannot grasp that. I probably should take some classes again, but the thing about classes is I like to draw what I want to draw. And if I can't do that, I just end up hating the class. So when the teacher's like, hey, pick something and draw that, those are the times that I end up doing well. But when it's like, hey, here's an apple bottle in a bowl, draw this and shade it, I'm like, no, I don't want to do that. I don't want to do that at all. So that's about how I feel about art classes and stuff. So it's really just a hobby for me. Because it's a natural skill for me, I thought I would end up doing something with my life in art, but I didn't. Because then I realized after taking art classes, I don't like deadlines. And I don't want someone telling me, hey, you need to draw this, this, and this, and get it done by this time. That makes me not want to do it. I just have this rebellious nature when it comes to drawing. And a few other things too. But I realized that I would not be happy if I did something I was good at for money, because I end up doing things I didn't want to. So I was like, I'm just going to keep this as a hobby. So I never pursued anything in art. And sometimes I think, well, what would have happened if I did? And then I keep thinking about those deadlines. And I'm like, nope, it's cool. I didn't need it. Yeah, it's actually shaping up pretty well, if I do say so myself. So, okay. Yeah, should I start on his lips first, or should I? Oh, I did not see. He actually has some kind of. I hate drawing cheekbone lines, because it makes them look old. I may take that out, because I really don't like how that looks. Yeah, I think I need to make his jaw longer too. I hate that so much. It makes people have a lot of lines in their face and stuff, but when you end up drawing it on paper, it just looks like they're old. And that's probably my fault, because I need to know how to shade, and these really actually aren't lines, they're shading, but I'm not good at shading. So oh well, let's go ahead and start doing this mustache. The thing about Markiplier, I learned early on while looking at him, he looks a lot like Maze Hughes. And I was like, oh crap. And of course, you don't know who Maze Hughes is. He was just he started off as kind of an annoying character, and then he was like, oh, I actually love this character in Full Metal Alchemist, who always go around showing off pictures of his daughter and stuff, and he ended up getting killed, and oh my gosh. I didn't cry when he died, but when they had the funeral, I cried. And then, Full Metal Alchemist is such a downer anime. There was the whole thing with Nina and her dog, and oh gosh, I can't even handle it. So I try to stay away from dramatic anime because I get too invested in stuff, and I also try to stay away from anime that's like gonna make me think, like Death Note. I watched all the Death Note and read all of it, and I just don't like to be able to agree with bad guys and stuff. Like, oh, I see their point. I don't like that. I don't like that very well at all. Okay, I think I got the first part of this, but I think did I put his lips too far down? No, he has a pretty shaggy mustache and beard. It's kind of just like, I don't know. Doesn't seem like it's neat. Oh, my computer keeps going to screensaver. Okay, well actually, no, that's not so bad. I'm just gonna have to keep practicing. So I feel like this can be a whole lot better, but you know. And then he's got the scraggly beards. The scraggly hairs that go down here, and then it goes out into a full kind of goatee kind of thing, but kind of not. So, well, no, it's not a goatee at all because his hair goes all the way up the side. Unlike Nostalgia Critic or Doug Walker, he has a straight up goatee. And I may end up drawing him too. He has a very animated face. It'd be interesting to draw him. Maybe even draw James Rolfe. I do know I want to try and draw Danny. So I just think he has an adorable face, so especially when he smiles. Okay, so and oh my gosh, these hairs are going everywhere. You know, sometimes he has like hair on his cheeks and stuff. Oh, I feel like I pay too much attention to this guy. I really need to stop that. So I definitely don't want to come off as like stalkerish or anything. Now this, I'm feeling pretty good about this. I know it could be 10 times better, and especially since I haven't drawn in so long, especially anything live action. I think I can get away with this. It doesn't look too bad. You definitely need a picture to figure out who this is. Maybe. Oh, well, then that makes it not good at all. If you need a picture to be able to tell who it is. Someone should be able to just look at this and be like, oh, that's Markiplier, that Let's Play guy. Well, not even most people would know that. Well, people within the fandom should be able to know. Well, maybe I need to try some shading or something, because I don't know. I can see the lines of shade on him. But I'm not good at shading. I'm so not good at shading. And I hate to repeat myself, but I really, really hate that I'm not good at this stuff. And I tried to learn this stuff. I tried. But it just didn't interest me at the time. I wanted to draw my own thing. And at the time, I was into Dragon Ball Z and all that stuff, and that's all I wanted to draw. Digimon, Pokemon. That was all the stuff I was into. It's starting to turn out like the Wolfman. I have a bad habit of making pupils way too big. I guess that could be understandable since I draw anime a lot and their eyes are just way, way, way overblown. He does have eyes like one of my Korean friends. It's kind of like his eyelids droop down over into his eyes. I don't know what I'm talking about. Just ignore me. I think I'm just gonna, because that makes it look like there's hair up there, and I don't like that. I feel like his nose is too big now. See, now that I'm at the final stages, I'm starting to see all the imperfections. And it can't be helped. Yeah, I'm just gonna have to get better. Cause like I'm looking at the picture and looking at my drawing, and I'm like, I think I made some of this stuff a little too. For some reason, I am very happy with his lips. That's interesting. But everything else, I'm like, well, I think I made his. I was about to say fur. Oh my gosh, not fur. Because some of it's just like super scraggly. Oh my gosh, this is like. So like now, to give an example, Doug Walker, his goatee, he keeps it pretty long, and his hair goes in the same direction. At least it looks like it. Here on Markiplier, it's just kind of like he missed spots on his beard. I don't know. It's kind of weird. Yeah, I think I just got scraggly hair. Got his foofy hair. It's kind of an interesting hairline. You don't kind of see this hairline too often. And when I'm done with this, which I'm almost done, I'll put a side by side of the picture I used along with this. I am not happy with this. It's like, I don't know, I made him more rugged than I meant to. It's like, I can't figure out, I really can't figure out why this looks weird. Why it looks weird to me. No, I'm not even gonna draw the pupils in there, because that ends up making stuff look very weird to me. Okay, I know his eyebrows are fine. Except for that distance in between the eyebrows, and maybe, is that it? Would that be it? Yeah, let's make them closer. So, gotta make it go up, because I don't want it to look like he's frowning, because then this will stop being Markiplier and end up turning into Darkiplier, and we don't want that, at least not yet. So let's, gosh, his hair really does go in two different directions on both his eyebrows. What is, oh my gosh. Is it this? Because it looks like he's trying to do the triangle thing down here, but I don't think it's working out. Okay. Well, that's about as good as it's gonna get. I mean, it's been a while, so probably if I outline it, it'll look better. But I'm not gonna go into all that. Get all those extra scraggly things out. So there we go. That's Markiplier. At least it's supposed to be Markiplier, but we're gonna say it's Markiplier. And that is gonna be it for this episode of Lanni Draws. I almost said Let's Draw. I guess this could be Let's Draw also. Lanni Draws, Let's Draw. No, just Lanni Draws. Anyways, I will see you guys next time. Matane!